Hi, my name is Adriane Tabag with IdeateTV, and I'm standing here with Dinesh Shamdasani. Can you update us with any?
Sure. So for anyone that doesn't know, we are a publisher from the 90s, massively successful in the 90s, bought by a video game company. Video game company, through no fault of Valiant, went out of business. We came in, I was a huge fan as a child of Valiant, and I just wanted more Valiant comic books, so we came in, I put some investors together, bought the rights to the comic library out of bankruptcy, put the company back on the shelves, and we've been very lucky. We've got this amazing team, ex-Marvel and DC guys. We're the best read publisher in the business. We were the biggest launch in 17 years for a company. We don't publish a lot, we publish 10 books a month, but to give you some comparison, Marvel publishes about 100, DC about 100. 10 books a month, we try to make them 10 of the best books anyone publishes every month. And so what we've done in the last few years is we've continued to grow. Booths are getting bigger, we've got a bigger fan base. We are once again the best read publisher of the year, and that's where we're at right now.
Congratulations. Congratulations. What were some of the characters that interested you in Valiant Comics that made you want to go forth with this company?
Valiant always put a very, very strong onus on storytelling. They were the storytelling company, and people gravitate towards them because of that. Their characters different than Marvel and DC, our characters, because the characters that we have here are real people. So in the Marvel Universe, for instance, you have a lot of geniuses. Tony Stark, Iron Man's a genius, Mr. Fantastic, Ant-Man. They're all these really, really smart guys. They're extraordinary people before they hit their powers. Our characters are ordinary people, like people like you and I. They have trouble knowing what the right thing to do is and doing it. So we run towards that. We have a book here. I'll get you a copy in a second.
Yeah.
This one here, Faith #1. It's been a huge hit for us. This is the biggest book of the year so far. Fastest book in the history of comics to go to a 4th printing. And it's about this character, Faith, who is a huge fangirl. She loves comic books, she loves TV shows, she knows the tropes of the genre, and she brings them to bear when she becomes a superhero. She's also a body type that you don't normally see, which is really exciting for us. The universe is very, very diverse. It's a universe that was created in the 90s, so it more accurately, I think, reflects society as we know it today. And people find they're reflected in our books, which is really nice, and it's something we feel a great responsibility to continue that tradition.
That's very cool. We were actually discussing earlier about the change in comics with the addition of women, so that's awesome. You know, just how there's a higher percentage of women coming to Comic-Cons these days than before.
Absolutely.
So you guys are definitely capturing the changing demographic in the comic book industry.
Well, it's a changing demographic, I think, in pop culture in general. And again, because we were built in the 90s, we reflect the world that we know today. So I think the key is not pandering. You want to be authentic. And so as we build up our universe, we find these natural, organic ways to get to a kind of storytelling that hasn't been done before. And there's so much to mine there. Like, I'll show you another one.
Okay. This
book here is The Death-Defying Dr. Mirage. It's a romance, which you don't normally get in superhero storytelling. So Shan Mirage and her husband Hwen are paranormal investigators. They have this A&E type TV show where they talk to the dead. That's her power. And they both die on set, and she's brought back, but her husband isn't. And now her power is to talk to the dead, but she can't speak to her husband. She doesn't know what happened to him. And the story is about her going to the other side to go on this big Tolkien-esque journey to bring him back to the land of the living, only to find that she brought him back as an intangible specter. And it's a beautiful romance, and you can see some of the art here. It's a very unique style that we've approached.
I love that topic too.
It's
Love
a great
and
book.
loss.
Yeah, we'll get you a copy. You'll like it.
Oh, very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, a pleasure.
And one more question.
Yeah.
What superhero characteristic do you have?
Do I have?
Do you like to live with, like on a day-to-day?
I would love to not have to sleep. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Making comics is a 24/7, 365-day job, especially when you're trying to make them as good as you can. So not having to sleep would be amazing.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of
Thank
people
you.
would actually want that too. Awesome. Dinesh, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Adriane with IdeateTV.